Now, whatever you do, don't push this button. Now, repeat back what I just said.
I am Groot.
Uh-huh.
I am Groot.
No! Try again.
I am Groot. I am Groot.
No, that's exactly what you just said. How is that even possible? Which button is the button you're supposed to push? Point to it. No!
Hey, you're making him nervous! What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. So for being the party of insurrection, Democrats sure are shameless about it. They stormed the White House in March of 2020, burned down buildings at the White House, injured hundreds of Secret Service officers, and forced the president to retreat into a secured bunker. They nearly burned down the entire White House, and you never hear about that insurrection. Not one little bit. They also pull fire alarms in order to prevent votes that they don't want to take. Here's a photo of insurrectionist Jamaal Bowman obstructing an official proceeding. Of course, you've heard that before. That is what they charged all the January 6ers with. Jamaal Bowman pulling a fire alarm for some reason in a doorway. Why would he be doing that? Well, obviously because he wants to stall a vote to keep Ukraine funding in our national budget. Now, the criminal code in Washington, D.C. is really obvious as to what you are and are not allowed to do, along with the federal code. Jamaal Bowman should be in prison for a long time because of this, just by the basic readings of the security code and the criminal code federally, and, of course, criminally inside of the District of Columbia. Now, Representative George Santos, to this date, has had the best explainer as to how fire alarms work in Congress.
Hi, boys and girls. This is Congressman George Santos. This here is a fire alarm. If you lift and pull this down, you trigger an alarm. Don't do it. Stay good, kids.
There you go. So it's interesting that he says stay good, kids, because Jamaal Bowman is somebody who was a principal at a school. So the principals at your school, the guys who are in charge of schools, elementary schools, don't know how fire alarms work. Got it? And are insurrectionists. But my favorite video now officially goes to Marjorie Taylor Greene. The great Marjorie Taylor Greene gave us a step-by-step how it is demonstrable that Jamaal Bowman and the Democrats are lying about this. Let me show you how easy it is to exit Cannon Building, and the doors are closed this weekend. You don't need to pull a fire alarm. You simply need to walk down some steps. Jamaal Bowman knew what he was doing. He was trying to interrupt the vote. Bowman needs to be arrested, Marjorie Taylor Greene says, and then demonstrates thusly.
Hi everyone, we are at the infamous door where Jamaal Bowman claims he had to pull a fire alarm to get out. Now these doors are open on weekdays. Every member of Congress knows that, everybody that works here knows that. But on Saturdays and Sundays, they are locked, and only certain doors are open on Saturdays and Sundays. Now come on over here. This right here is a fire alarm. Nowhere does it say, pull the fire alarm to open the exit door. Doesn't say that, and I think ex-middle school principals know better. Let me show you how we go when we need to go vote. I know this because my office is in here in Cannon Building. Come on, go this way. Oh, look, there's stairs. By the way, we had to use the stairs to evacuate the Cannon Building after Jamaal Bowman pulled the fire alarm. Where you have an option. As members of Congress, we can continue to go down the stairs this way, and you can go in the basement, and we can walk in the tunnel that goes under the road to the Capitol. We do that all the time, especially if the weather's bad. Or you can come around this way. See where that says exit? It exits out on New Jersey. This one is open all the time. Not just some of the time, all the time. So let's explain very clearly again. Jamaal Bowman didn't pull the fire alarm to try to get out of the building because he had to rush to go vote. I know that for a fact because I also work in the Cannon office building, And I watched Catherine Clark, the Democrat whip, make a motion to adjourn, and then within minutes, Jamaal Bowman pulled a fire alarm, and he knew he was pulling a fire alarm because he's a former middle school principal. And then he ran out of the building and didn't tell anybody he did that. And this building was evacuated for over an hour, and Congress had to hold the vote open. That's usually only 15 minutes on the first vote. They held it open for over an hour as well. There's some serious problems for Jamaal Bowman, and he needs to be prosecuted for violating the same federal law that they are prosecuting January 6 defendants and President Trump.
So bravo, Marjorie Taylor Greene. In filming of that hilarious sequence, Marjorie Taylor Greene ran into her fellow Republican Derek Van Orden of Wisconsin, who says, in the spirit of bipartisanship, we've decided to show our colleague how to use a door. Van Orden produced this hysterical video. Watch.
I had to pull the fire alarm to get out.
What? No.
We don't do that?
No. Here, let me show you how this works.
Okay. But what if it's locked, like it is normally on Saturdays and Sundays?
Yeah.
These doors are locked. I mean, everybody in Congress knows that.
Yeah,
Should we just go down the tunnel to go vote, or find an exit door that's open?
Well, those would both seem to be reasonably
But
good
we don't pull
alternatives.
this. We don't pull the fire.
No.
That says fire.
No.
Fire?
No.
Don't pull it?
No.
Doesn't open the
Do
door?
not. No.
Oh, okay.
Of course, if you are caught committing a criminal act in Congress as a Democrat, you have only one option. It certainly isn't going to prison. It's calling Republicans Nazis. That's right. Republicans have vowed to punish the progressive in the wake of the incident. It's called an incident, right? Not an insurrection, with one member already introducing a motion to expel him from Congress. Jamaal Bowman is circulating a list of talking points to fellow Democrats in a bid to stop the burgeoning GOP push to punish him after he set off a fire alarm during Saturday's chaotic spending votes. New York Democrats press secretary sent a memo on Monday afternoon to all House Democrat offices requesting that they defend Bowman over the FAP for the alarm, which has prompted Republicans to push sanctions against him. A copy of the communique was obtained by Politico. That communique says that Republicans are Nazis. Got it? Okay. Isn't it amazing also how Democrats get on message like this? It really is remarkable. Democrats get on message. Get on message. You better get on message. What does it say? I believe Congressman Bowman when he says he was an accident. Republicans need to instead focus their energy on the Nazi members of their party before anything else. MAGA Republicans have used this opportunity to distract from their attempt to shut the government down and minimize January 6th insurrectionists. Jamaal Bowman had to tweet this. Oh my. I just became aware of our messaging guidance. There was an inappropriate use of the term Nazi without my consent. It's not my fault. I condemn the use of the word Nazi out of its precise definition. Important to specify the term Nazi only referred to a member of the Nazi parties, like the ones that Justin Trudeau are celebrating in Canada. Standing applause. Standing applause. We stand and applaud for Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was on our show yesterday saying she's going to seek criminal charges for Jamaal Bowman. Here's how it would work. Watch. Marjorie, we really appreciate you being on the show. The reason why is that, one, we know that it's really hard for members of Congress to use doors. And you probably had to use a door to get into this interview. And you might have pulled the fire alarm. Maybe you're wearing this color of dress to remind you that the red means fire alarm and not doorknob.
Hey, fire alarms are going off everywhere in Washington, D.C., but it's not Jamaal Bowman that pulled it this time. I have to tell you, though, Jamaal can't lie his way out of this one. We all know where the tunnels are to get to the Capitol to go vote. And he may be a freshman in Congress, but he's been here too long to lie about going out that door right behind him in that picture. And being a middle school principal, I'm sure you've called this out, Benny. He knows exactly what fire alarms do, and he knows that they're breaking federal law to pull one for a stunt like he pulled.
I feel like there's bigger things to talk about. Obviously, I really want to get into your questioning on the impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden. But this story really, as somebody who worked on the Hill, and I was a reporter on the Hill for ages, I've been in and out of Capitol Hill and through the tunnels and everything, this is such a blatant lie. They circled the wagons around this guy because he was presumably trying to stop the vote. Is that your takeaway here?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Benny. I work in the Cannon building. That's where my office is. Catherine Clark, the Democrat whip, had just called a motion to adjourn. The Democrats were trying to stall the vote because the Senate was trying to get the Ukraine money put back in after I had worked all week long, Benny, to force the Ukraine money out of the defense bill. And I had been successful, and they were losing their minds. They were all giving floor speech after floor speech about the Ukraine money needs to be in the defense bill and how they would have to stand for democracy in a country most people can't find on the map. And so right after Catherine Clark called for the motion to adjourn, it was within probably just a few minutes, not more than 2 or 3 minutes. That's when Jamaal Bowman pulled the fire alarm and we all had to evacuate the Cannon office building. Well, I have to tell you, we couldn't go down the elevators. Everyone had to go down the stairs, and it took a long time for everyone to get out of the building. I stayed outside waiting to make sure that all of my staff had made it out safely. Also watching for smoke. Is there a fire? Or is the fire department coming? Is it a bomb threat? You know, what is going on? So he definitely interrupted our proceedings in Congress, and he broke the exact same law that is being used against not only many January 6 defendants, but President Trump himself have been charged with that law. Jamaal Bowman should be locked up. U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves of the Department of Justice should be charging him and going after him the same way he's going after January 6 defendants every single day. And I am not going to back down from this one. Jamaal Bowman has to be held accountable.
What would be the process here? Would you refer him? I mean, could Kevin McCarthy refer criminal charges?
There needs to be a criminal referral to the Department of Justice, and that will have to come through one of our committees. I know we'll be talking about that today in Washington.
Wow. Okay.